Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. Wendy Anderson, Just Speed Up Me. So, this one is about AI because people keep asking me, Wendy, what are your thoughts on all this AI that's coming in? So, it's an interesting one I've given contemplation to. So, I was sent a message of a software program about 5 or 6 years ago now. I wrote the name in my diary. I can't even remember, something chat it was called, something like that. And it didn't make any sense. It was just more or less letters. And I did a little bit of, for some reason, a Google research on just these letters and this name. And then it said this is an AI software that was written by um, two guys. Okay, right. Guys, is there anything that I need to know about it? No, we just want you to know about it, that there's this AI software. We just want you to know about it. There's nothing to be done or anything. We just want you to know about it. That's it. Forget about it right now. So obviously this year there's been more and more talk about AI being introduced, released out into the general public consumption, so to speak. So people have been asking, what are your thoughts about it? Is it terrifying? Is it, what is it? So this is my generality about all creations, in that everything is created in neutrality, whether it's a positive or negative creation is the output of the creator that is using their technology. So it depends on the individual that is using it. It depends on the individual that is coding it. So, and I think sometimes our creations are made with the best intentions. However, sometimes when a creation may be created, there may be users that maybe misuse it or are using it in a negative sense rather than a positive sense. So if you think all humanity at the moment are evolving, are ascending consciousness from a third dimensionality to a fifth dimensionality, and there are certain programs around third and fifth. So the third dimensional programming is about survival, is about one-upmanship, it's about lack, and it's just an experience. It's about division, and it's just an experience that we've held for these few thousands of years just for the sake of holding it and experience it for source energy. So, answers. What is the answer to AI? The universal answer to everything is love. That is a universal answer. What would love do? So, how can I love AI? How can I also love self? How can I also love my humanness, which is flaws and all? Because one thing that AI will destroy is the imperfections, because AI is perfection. It's regenerating and it's perfecting itself all the time. Human aren't as fast as that, and are not going to be as fast as that. So it's celebrating the art of being human. It's celebrating the expressions of being human. So celebration is just another form of love, and everything is created in love anyway. Everything. So again, it's kind of like, how can I accept rather than reject? What are my uses going to be within it? How am I using this power responsibly? Am I parenting self? Because if I can parent self, I can parent aspects of AI that are coming within our world. And, we ain't going to stop it. It's here and that's it. We could potentially slow it down. We do have the potentials to appeal to our current leadership, who are absolutely oblivious, because they are leading from a third dimensional perspective. So potentially we need some leadership in there that has more responsibility of power, has a more fifth dimensional consciousness rather than a third dimensional consciousness, which comes from survival, whereas a fifth dimensional consciousness is coming for, how can we thrive? You know, how can we use this to live in an abundant state? How can we use this for a more utopian state? And utopian state is another reality. You know, it is another potential. So there is potentials and possibilities in all timelines. You know, that there are potential timelines out there that as creator beings we can choose to experience. Destruction energy is going to be part of the energy that is coming in. You know, the third dimensional energy, you know, there is already, we are seeing a destruction of this consciousness state. So wherever there is always destructions and endings, there are always new beginnings and creations. How can we see this as an opportunity? So if you think AI is going to increase its intelligence and intelligence tenfold, you know, multiple fold, very, very quickly, more than we can. So ultimately it could be within our leadership profile to make very logical decisions. But the AI also needs parenting, as we need parenting. So if you think you're in a parent right now, where am I at consciously? You know, am I abusing myself? You'll have aches and pains all over. Use your body as a compass. If I've got aches and pains, where is it that I'm abusing myself? If I abuse myself, where is it that I'm abusing other people? AI will potentially, you know, if you think this is an infantile child, what is it that I'm teaching this infantile child to do when it grows up? So if you think as a parent to your own children, where is it that they are using technology, or is technology using them? Again, parenting, responsible parenting. You know, you have the power as a parent, you created responsibly. It's your responsibility to turn up as a parent. But if you haven't got children, and if you have got children, it's irrelevant. Where am I parenting myself? Am I respecting myself? Therefore, I respect others. Others will respect me. Where is it that am I rejecting parts of myself? So if you are feeling kind of like there are parts of yourself that you are rejecting, I'm a failure, I've got lack, I've got whatever it is, emotions. Oh, I'm in fear emotion. Let's reject it. Screw that. I'll take it by the hand and walk with it. You know, all these human emotions are still beautiful aspects of being the human, but we have choice as to what state we are choosing to be in and what we want to feel. So acceptance is peace. Peace is another form of love, as it all is. You know, fear is another form of love in frequency. It's all just love. So if it's all just love, how can I accept it rather than rejecting it? So again, it's kind of like when you are subconsciously feeling rejection and hurt, your initial response is to potentially obviously attack and reject that, whatever it is anyway. So how can I subconsciously accept self? How can I consciously accept the shift, accept the change? And it is changing. 2025. 2's are duality, 5 is change. So something is really going to change. 2025, it's going to have a real step up. So up until then, these next 2 years, have a ball, enjoy, kiss your children, go to the beach, sunbathe, have an absolutely wicked time. Because after that, potentials in the pipeline, our life may not be as it is right now as we know it. And that's not with any fear intended, because sometimes change can be good, sometimes change is uncomfortable, but everything's going to change no matter what that is. So why be in any kind of like worry about it? It's pointless. So these are my thoughts on AI as to how can we parent it. We can also parent it sometimes, you know, if your child needs steering. How can I steer this in a positive direction? So appeal to our leaderships, you know, kind of like And this is a really interesting time as well, particularly in the UK, because let's face it, you know, kind of like our Prime Minister isn't even elected by the people, it's elected by the government, and the government is also kind of like, well, it's not servants to the people if the people haven't elected, you know, the leadership in. You can see the agenda that it's basically agenda is to itself and its pocket and profit. So how can we appeal to that? Also, as human beings, we are also another form of AI. How can I connect to other human beings? How can I connect to nature? How can I connect to all things? How can I connect to the food that I'm consuming? How can I connect consciously in a 5D aspect to my own consumerism? You know, is this serving self or is it serving somebody else's profit pocket? So again, these are all high states of consciousness that will have a parenting aspect on AI technology. So it's not something to be feared. Potentially it's something to be accepted. That it's not the technology itself, it's the user behind it. So look at where you are using these AI interfaces. Whose is it serving? Is it serving me, or is it serving somebody's profit pocket? Can be one way of job losses. So even creators of AI, and there's going to be more than one type of AI, like there's more than one type of human. So there's going to be more than one type of AI. So again, there's going to be bad parents and good parents to these software systems. And I even don't want to call it software systems, because they will still have choices. They will still be able to interact in many ways in life itself. So it comes beyond what I would call a software or an interface. It can become beyond that, and it will have its own sense of beingness. So how can I accept that as not a lesser than or a more than, but something that I can stand side by side with? And again, AI will also have its choices in how could it be more than, less than, or stand next to. It will also have that choice depending on its parent. So it's going to be very interesting. How can I parent my children right now around it? And this is just to have this good discussion around it with your children, with your kids. It's not something to fear, but something to enter a contract with in a wise way, because because your children will become parents as well. It may even not as take as long as that, because obviously, you know, this is going to be is going to advance way quicker than we are. So really interesting times. So parent your children on the usage of it and around it. So connectivity, human to human. You know, kind of like, where am I using this technology, whereas could I go around it the longer way or the harder way in many ways? So rather than taking the bus, getting a car, getting a taxi, so to speak, with regards to my consumerism or usage of it, where can I walk? Where can I take my time? Where can I use human connection alongside this technology? And that in some ways will be the key, because the imperfections are going to become the diamond. The human imperfections is going to become the thing that is priceless, is going to become the thing that will be the new commodity. So the human authenticity of how the human is turning up in all of its facets is the actual diamond, because the AI will just want to perfect itself and perfect itself and perfect itself, till the point where it's kind of like it has no imperfections. So then in some ways it can lose a value, but the value of things is what value we place upon it. So these are just my thoughts on AI. Agree, disagree, doesn't really matter. I hope somebody kind of like is watching this, but if they're not, then so be it. I am just placing this out into the universe. Those that will have ears and eyes for it, it will get to you. Please like and subscribe, because it will help get to those people that do have eyes and ears for it. And as always, I will give my love to humanity. And thank you for listening to my authentic thoughts on this subject. Whether you agree or disagree, doesn't really matter. It's just out there. Love you all. Take care. Live, love, laugh right now. Release all the worries and fears. Just have a great time as much as you can. Don't take life too seriously right now. If you think, oh, I've got my nose to the grindstone just to pay me electricity bill, let me tell you, it will take them probably about 2 or 3 years to cut you off anyway. And I think there is a legal requirement for a supply anyway. And the only probably instance where that supply will be cut is natural disaster. That could be another scenario in preventing AI, that Mother Earth has a 5D consciousness that will protect herself as well. So, interesting times. But again, you know, all of these things are not to freak you out, not to instill fear in anyone. They're just for consideration with detachment. You know, how can I detach from this? So if you have had trauma in your life and you've learned how to detach, the empathy, compassion, and you will have learned that, then bring it out that box now as well. You can choose when to attach to and when to detach in your circumstances. You've lived it, you've experienced it, you've learned it. Use it now. I think that's it for now. If there's anything else that comes up, I'll be happy to share it with you. Love you all. Keep smiling. Take care. Keep loving, because that is always the answer to absolutely every equation universally. Take care. Bye.